We have our Becca Birdsall on the storm tracker right now. She's showing us live pictures. This is near, are you near Carowinds?
She's in Steele Creek.
Okay, Steele Creek. Okay, so hi Becca. What are you seeing right now? What can you tell us?
Yeah, guys, good afternoon. I'm currently on Choate Circle just before you hit Carowinds Boulevard, and want to show you the scene that we're at right now. So this is the bridge that goes over Steele Creek. So you can see it is completely submerged right now with water. Now I want to give you a little bit of a clue. One of our cameras here. So it appears that about 50 feet away from the bridge, you can see a car actually tried to make its way into the flooded waters, decided that it was too high, too dangerous, and eventually, I'm not sure if this was actually a water rescue done by CMPD, but you can see off into the distance, there is a police car with barricades up. So this is just a good reminder that if you do see barricades, please pay attention to them. They're there for a reason. 12 inches of water can move a small car like what you're seeing in the picture here, but also anywhere from 18 to 24 inches of water is enough to knock and sweep off a big car in those flooded waters. So this is what we're looking at right now. Again, this is Choate Circle, and it's the bridge over Steele Creek that is flooded right now. And Steele Creek in this area is one of the creeks that is under that minor flood stage. You can actually see kind of the currents going with the stream as well, indicating how strong it is. So drivers right now are being forced to turn around at this barricade. There is CMPD currently on the scene, and of course we've got that one car that is in the water. That is a stark reminder just to take it slow and easy out there. Don't test any of the barricades. Just not going to be a good idea. Make sure to again stay weather aware. I know the rain is lightening up, so you can actually see from our dashboard camera. We've got a couple of light showers out there, but compared to what we were seeing about an hour, 2 hours ago, this is a lot lighter rainfall. Of course, we do have that flash flood warning that does continue until about 4 o'clock today, so we will continue to be on guard. But again, Choate Circle, this is the bridge over Steele Creek, definitely an area that you'll want to avoid as this will remain closed for some time.
All right, Becca, Chris Mulcahy here. Hello, my friends. Great job out there. So I'm looking
Hello,
at.
Chris.
I'm looking at the monitor right here, Steele Creek at Carowinds Boulevard, so it's really not too far from where you're at. And it actually just brought us into a minor flood stage. And what I think is really interesting is looking at the record crest, this is actually the third highest that we have seen. And the earliest record that I see actually for this area is 1998. So I think that puts some perspective. But just another piece that you might want to check out is they said at 10 feet, and that's what we're really close to, Steele Creek may approach crawl spaces of mobile homes on John Price Road, so not too far from there. We're nowhere near major flooding because at that point it's approaching Carowinds. Yeah, buildings at Carowinds is what they said. So luckily we've never been anywhere close to that. But you're seeing a lot of roads closed. Do you see that the water is approaching the bottom of that bridge, or how close is it to the bridge?
It's over the bridge for sure. I'll actually give you a better look at it over here. So you can see it's completely submerged.
Oh, yeah.
Not only that, you can see kind of the current of the river going over the bridge. So for perspective, like you were saying, this is an area that hasn't really seen this type of flooding often. 3 to 4 inches of rainfall in a short amount of time will certainly do that. And these images just really tell the big story, Chris.
Yeah, and that's incredible. Yeah, actually, the last time that we had this reported site where you're at, because the river gauge pretty much right where you are, was 2016. So it's been a while since we've seen that. And before that, the one that's actually a little bit closer was 2006. So yeah, exactly what Becca said. This is a rarity. And also a big note here, this is the reason why they tell you not to drive over bridges whenever you have high water. Because for one, it's already starting to degrade the ground, some of the pavement, but then also it can affect some of the joists and the things that hold this up. So oftentimes, even though once the water recedes, engineers need to go out there and test the integrity of the bridge, because the power of water moving underneath there. Look at all the debris that's also flowing, because all the debris that we're seeing, this is fast moving water. If there was a car that came in there, that's enough that would carry a compact car of how fast it is moving. Now picture trees and other things like that can also hit this. That can lead to further flooding. So yeah, no, Becca, you're showing a great example of what not to drive over and what not to be at, but you're doing a great job out there.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Chris. We'll continue to monitor the latest in and around this area. So back to you guys.
Okay, well, on to the next band of rain that we're going to be tracking. So again, where we're just looking is right around Carowinds Boulevard, Steele Creek, and then it's also the Sugar Creek, Little Sugar Creek. Those are the two ones that have really seen some of the biggest issues as far as flooding. Let's bring up some of the other meters that we have across the area. The Little Sugar Creek at Archdale Drive, most of the Sugar Creek has come downward, but the record 15.1, we didn't quite reach that. Also, Briar Creek at Colony Road, we did see that get to around a minor flood stage overall. And we're seeing some improvements, but there's also some areas like right where Becca is. That's where I think that we're seeing the highest levels, the highest crests. So a lot of the ones closer to Uptown, the ones that were around South Park, we're starting to see that curve over. But other ones such as Briar Creek at Colony Road, the most recent update still had 10.2 feet into minor stage. It's still rising. So even though the rain is getting a little bit lighter, most of the time whenever we have these flash flood warnings, it's indicating that, hey, we're not quite done, because all that water is still flowing off the roads. All that water is still flowing into streams, and as the streams flow into other streams and creeks, that can overwhelm those. So we're really not going to hit some of our peak values, I would say, really until about the next hour or so. So even though things are starting to recede off of the roads, the drains are starting to catch up. It's the ones that live near the streams and the waterways. It's great to live there, but not great when these happen, Majestic.
Exactly, and I've been kind of keeping a close eye on roads as well. I've been watching that all morning long, and now into the afternoon, still a handful of accidents. One that I'm seeing right now is on I-77 South, exit 25. It's backed up to exit 28. When I'm looking at some of our live cameras, it just seems like stop and go traffic as they're trying to clear that. So if you do have to be out on the road, just make sure that you're really driving slowly. You're allowing for extra time to get to where you need to be. You don't want to be in a rush, and you don't have to be so close to the person in front of you. Make sure that there's enough space in between you and the car in front of you. But I also have another report says lanes restricted, flooding and down trees on Sharon Amity Road and Walker Road. Seeing numerous road closures because of those ongoing problems when it comes to flooding and the debris in the road. And yeah, as Becca and Chris have been saying, don't drive through any high water because you don't know what's under it. You don't know how deep it is either, and it doesn't take that much water to swipe your car away or to make it turn into a situation that looks like this.
And this is trouble for that one car where Becca is on Choate Circle, just north of the Carowinds property. And as they try to tow that away, wow, from the Chevy Storm Tracker's view, it is a mess. And then just in the background, traffic is being diverted onto other side streets through the neighborhood. And then CMPD unit obviously closing off any further traffic to get past that. So people are trying to get through. They find themselves stuck, and then they get into this kind of trouble. Not worth it.
It's actually problematic, too, that the rain is stopping. It's not that. It's just that I guarantee in this traffic world of ours, and I see this all the time, as soon as the rain starts to lighten up, people start going regular speeds, not realizing that it's still not a great drive. So I just want everyone to just kind of keep in mind, be a defensive driver, just because there's going to be a lot of slipping and sliding out there as well. And more rain on the way, especially when that rain comes back. I think we're going to have another surge as far as incidents go. So it's kind of like a double duo. The heavy rain will always lead to other problems, and morning commute and evening commute are usually the first ones to be affected by that.
I had a couple people ask, and maybe with your experience, Chris, you would know, how long does it take before you start to see the Little Sugar Creek slowly start to recede to the point where you can safely, travel over it, things like that?
Usually, it can take anywhere from about a quarter of a day to sometimes up to 8 hours for it to be fully back to normal.
Yeah.
But already, since we hit its peak, I'm seeing parts of the Little Sugar Creek down about 3 feet. So
It happens kind of
yeah,
fast.
yeah.
I mean, it can rise really fast and it can go down really fast, it seems like.
That's where James was earlier, and now
So it's receded
yeah.
somewhat.
Yeah.
UPS truck now able to get through.
Very interesting.
This is, I think, the best way to put it, because you have a surge of water all at once. Kind of think of it as like as a traffic jam. So everything is flowing into one area as once you have a high volume of traffic. But then once everyone starts to get through, it starts to break up and clear. That's the same thing happens with a flooding event. You literally had rain that was coming from the street. You had rain that was coming from the creek, and then it was flowing down the banks. Everything was coming into one. So that's what overwhelmed it and spiked it up. So picture that as like the traffic jam. That's where everything is stopped. And then once things started to break, things started to get through, that's why it rapidly came down. So just as Majestic said, just as quick as they pop up, they can pop down. It's usually about 3 hours that it's safer to be around, but really for things to be fully back to normal that I would even think about walking around the Greenway would be close to about that quarter of a day, 6 hour time frame. But with more rain on the way, I would just try to avoid the Greenways if you can. Find something else to do.
And that goes for pedestrians as well.
Yes.
We're looking at Sugar Creek here, where it's just around the apartments off Park Road, and a live picture showing that the water is still free flowing. I just saw a couple of people walk across on the grassy area, so it might seem harmless right now, but as fast as we had to get on all hands on deck covering the flash flood warning, things can happen like that again with a later surge.
Like Destiny shot, we saw water and then it kind of really went away.
It went away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, some people paid the initial price for it, though, as they try to traverse the area. And it looks like here in the Steele Creek area, it is still strong.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's still going.
and that's the deal. The roads and things, those improve really fast. But the Little Sugar Creek is still getting water from other sources. But I want to give you an example just for actual numbers. So specifically where James was, it hit its peak where it didn't really change from 10:10 to 10:15 a.m. But then, so that was about 12.3 feet. So what time is it now? 1 o'clock? It's now down below 9 feet. So it's about 2 hours that it hit its peak. So now it's coming down, and then pretty soon it'll be down about 4 feet. That's still well above than where it should be, because before this rain event even happened, it was at 2 feet. So it still has a ways to go. So that's why you're seeing still so much water there. This type of deal is still going to be overwhelmed. And you might have been looking at that car earlier before it was back on the bed. You're like, oh, that wasn't too bad. Well, the water's receded there as well. So things are slowing down. We'll call this almost the eye of the storm. I truly don't think that the next band is going to be as bad as this one, but it doesn't necessarily need to be, because already things are so swollen in general. So yeah, we're not going to let our guard down. Again, here at WCNC, we've gone weather alert for today, tonight, and for tomorrow, just with more rain on the way and everything that's happened.